Minute and a half, maybe 2.
Yep. Firearms Friday, baby.
All right. Ooh, I almost hit the wrong intro button. It's the special. What's wrong with you? We lost. What the? That's 2 days in a row that the camera's acting stupid. And guess what that means? It means it's probably time to replace that camera because we've been burning it too hard for too long.
Well, happy FAF Day. While you're over there.
Yeah.
But, okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to say...
yeah, you talk. I'll fix.
Good morning to Steve. Good morning to James. And good morning to Megan. James says he met your sister in Rutledge. Well, it makes sense. It'd be weird if he met her anywhere else.
Not sure how I feel about you meeting my sister. Okay, unplug the camera. No, but yeah, my sister lives in Rutledge. Her husband used to be the mayor down there.
Yeah, and then Steve, the third member of the original Brushfire Mind crew and our esteemed moderator, says, "Sorry I missed yesterday. I bottled 1,137 cases of wine." To which I would say, brother, good for you, because if you had unbottled over 1,000 cases of wine yesterday, you probably would have missed today as well. So
that is a likely truism. Okay, I'm doing this again. Unplug camera. Plug camera back in. Wow, guys, I am sorry for this debacle. That's
unfortunate.
So,
maybe we just roll over to the article and go with it?
Yeah, I'll do that.
If you switch to the article view, will it happen?
Yeah, you may just have to see the article without us, and I may have to go. Oh, all right. So,
okay.
I don't know what's happening there. Now I've got to spend after I get back from. Yeah, so we were doing a podcast.
It was about to be a podcast.
After I get back from shooting houses today, I may just have to do some troubleshooting, and who knows, might be time for a new camera.
There it is. Okay.
So good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Sugar?
Man, I'm good. I cracked yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, no cigarettes, but
Oh, here, let me do this real quick.
I didn't
Damn it,
do
that's the wrong one. I don't know what that is. That wasn't the camera, was it?
But I did finally.
This one. That's what I want to get rid of.
I did finally have I did finally have some actual meat yesterday. It was somebody walked past me with.
You're kind of looking like you need some protein.
Thanks. I think. It sounds like that was a threat.
It was.
Somebody walked past me with a zesty Italian, which is exactly what it sounds like. And they were like, "Do you want some?"
You needed some protein.
And I was like, "No, not that kind of zesty Italian. I mean, like food, not like a euphemism.
So like a zesty Italian, not a swarthy Italian.
No, not a charming Italian.
No, that's not a thing. Swarthy. I'll give you swarthy.
There's some charming Italians. It's fine. We're racist against everybody, even Europeans. Equal opportunity offenders.
It's a pity it's a pity my favorite Guido isn't watching today. So
it's FAF Day, and of course, because it's Firearms Friday, and we talk about all things firearms.
Indeed,
we have to talk about the thing that happened here in Georgia. That
we have to talk about the thing, and the thing is not. So, the good news. Let's start there. Constitutional carry passes, Georgia Senate heads to the House.
right.
That is... No, not you. You. That is positive. It is a net positive.
Yes.
I'm glad to report that at least some of our lawmakers have decided that it is important to follow the law. So, I want to be very clear about something. When we're talking about constitutional carry, what we are talking about is not the states getting better about their laws and bringing those laws in line with the Constitution. That's only part of it. What I want you to remember that's very, very important is that everywhere that there is a law in the United States that refers to guns or restricts your access or right to carry them, you are looking at a state which is in open defiance of the Constitution. And every signatory to any gun law is a criminal. And when I say that advisedly. If you have ever signed your name as an elective representative in the United States to a law which restricts the access to or the right to keep and bear arms, then you are personally responsible for the deaths of people who were unable to defend themselves because you violated their civil liberties under color of law. And under Section 242, that is punishable by up to and including death. Yes, the argument I am making is that every single lawmaker who has ever signed a gun bill of any sort, anywhere and forever, should be executed after they're tried for their crime, but the only evidence that's needed to guarantee that that person is personally responsible for the violation of the law which cost lives, and therefore under the law demands execution, is their signature on any bill that restricts your right to keep and bear arms. It's that simple. So, a state trying to come back to constitutional carry, you need to look at this like a bank robber coming back to return the money. Let him bring it back. But you still need to punish the criminals that committed that crime to begin with. Now, since we do not live in a reasonable country, we've seen what happens to people who try to defend themselves from angry mobs of violent murderers. They get charged with hate crimes.
Probably the biggest example of that was Kyle Rittenhouse. Like, he didn't get charged with hate crimes, but I mean, it was very clear, very, very clear. And if Lil Binger had any hope when he went around the courtroom and like pointed the rifle with his finger on the trigger, like those pictures are still to this day.
Yeah.
I saw a fantastic meme that was a picture of him with his finger on the trigger, and it was like, "Hey, look, it's the ghost of Ukraine."
Oh God.
Or the ghost of Kiev or whatever. And I was like, that's something with layers right there. So, but to be clear, this is step one, okay? This is not yet signed into law, okay?
Correct.
See, so here's where we get to some of the sticky parts.
So, I want you guys to go, if you're not already following Georgia gun owners, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to BFM right here. I'm going to share this so that it's shared on the page, right?
Right.
I don't know why that went incorrectly. So I'm going to share this. I'm going to share this video to the BFM page. So you guys can go find it easily, or just go to Georgia Gun Owners Incorporated on Facebook. But this will also get you there.
Anyhow.
And I'm not going to play the video here. I'm sharing the link so you guys can go see it. But they've put the description in here. Urgent. David Ralston makes his move to sabotage constitutional carry. After GGO members rammed SB 319 through the Senate earlier this week, the House has stalled the bill in the Public Safety Committee. An armed citizenry is a safety measure. You absolute shitburgers.
Okay. All right.
But instead, unveiling HB 1358. This bill is far weaker than SB 319 and will drastically limit who can carry under Georgia's constitutional carry law. Now, there is an argument to be made that even denying the right to carry from felons is unconstitutional. We don't need to dig down that particular argument here, but let me be very clear. I am a Second Amendment absolutist.
Well, I mean, it's just at some point in time, the debt to society is paid. If somebody is out of prison, they're off of parole, they've paid all their fines, the state has essentially signed off and said, criminal is reformed. Like, you can even vote. You can vote again. Everything's, but whatever. Whatever. We'll get back to Alex's comment. I don't want to get derailed. But the second thing is just generally speaking, David Ralston is, he's just become a total shitburger lately, right? Like, this is not the only thing that's actually important to Georgians that David Ralston has stalled recently. He stalled school choice recently. And it's because some outside group came in and put a bunch of flyers in the area. They thought they were helping, right? But some of the Republican members of the local assembly felt like they were personally being attacked. And that's not what it was. This outside group did the thing that outside groups do. They came in and they were really flashy and extreme and hyperbolic, as people tend to be. But whatever, David Ralston was like, oh yeah, no, screw you. We're just not going to do the voucher program. And it was already a watered down school voucher program. Like, if you homeschool your kids, you don't get that money.
Right.
You only get that money if you allow someone else to educate your children. And you don't get that money. You're a pass-through. You're a rollover point. Now, I still think that Voucher programs are a fantastic start, but they're a start. Just like I think constitutional carry is a fantastic start, but it's only a start. Because here's my thing with constitutional carry. Yes, not having to go through the ridiculous license process is excellent, but it doesn't really change anything. Like, let's say this bill was law right now. Go to the pawn shop and try and buy a 38. You're still going to fill out paperwork. They're still going to run your name through the FBI's database. Like,
and that's got to go.
And the other problem with this, and this is why I'm so tired of our side doing things in half measures. The left doesn't have this problem. The left goes whole hog and makes you back them down to half measures. We start with the half measures and then wonder why things never work for us. Okay? Now, the argument that's being made against this, against SB 319, I even heard this on one of the commentators from WSB. It'd be like, oh, you could carry a gun without a background check. And I'm like,
that's a lie.
Well, no, it's not a lie, because you can already carry a gun without a fucking background check.
Well, you can't purchase, in theory, you can't purchase one without a background check.
Yeah, but if you're willing to break the law, you could purchase a gun without a background check.
Oh, yeah.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that's illegal. People do it anyway. See that plant called marijuana and how millions of people in this country smoke it to the point to where some states, and I actually think that this is the correct answer, some states basically pass laws in their states that said, screw you, federal government, this is just a plant. And
right.
we're going to let people recreationally use this plant inside this state, okay? That's actually the right move. Because if we're going to have the argument about background checks and we're going to have everything that the left and the media and the establishment is going to use against us, oh no background checks, ooh, what are we going to do? We might as well have it over a real thing. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I want to see this legislation pass. I really do. But I think that it's more token than substance. It's a good token. It's a fantastic token, and it's something that will give momentum to our side. But this is getting a first down, not a touchdown.
Right.
However, David Ralston, man.
Because take a moment and look at Ukraine, right? We talked about the situation in Canada with the truckers. And the police refused to go do anything about it because they thought that the truckers might be armed. Now look at Ukraine. The Russians are coming in, and the Ukrainian government decided to start handing out weapons. Handing out fully automatic AK-47s. You know why the government had to hand out fully automatic AK-47s?
Because the people didn't have them.
Because
they weren't
the people
armed.
didn't have them.
Yeah.
The point to the Second Amendment is that an armed citizenry is necessary to the security of a free nation. Now that's individual self-defense. That's the power of the people to prevent the government from becoming tyrannical and doing things like locking you in your house against your will, shutting down your business against your will, forcing experimental drugs into you against your will, mutilating your children against your will. Right? The Second Amendment is for all that, but the Second Amendment is also so that the citizens can coalesce into a militia in defense of the homeland against an invading, hostile foreign entity. Like, for example,
Russia?
Mexico.
Oh, that's right. I see what you did there. I see exactly what you did.
Thanks for taking the bait, though. The punchline wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah. We're not always on point, but when we are. So I want to bring up, I want to reference something. Alex, our buddy over from Polytech, says Ralston is Speaker of the House. The House versions of these bills have already passed out of Judiciary, Homeland, and Public Safety committees.
Judiciary?
I was doing my Joe Biden impression. It's my Joe Biden. So what do the deer need?
Fur.
What do you need? The deer need Kevlar vests?
I stand with the Iranian people.
Do you really?
That's what Joe said.
Whatever.
After he introduced the Ukrainian ambassador, I stand with the Iranian people. Like, did you say the uranium people?
Well, I love how you see Kamala in the background mouth Ukrainian.
Yeah.
Like, whoo. Okay, so look.
And have you seen this?
No, I haven't. But
Nancy, dude, Nancy.
oh yeah. Okay. Oh, well played, Sean Stryker. With pallets of cash, Joe sure stands with Iranians. Okay.
Yeah.
But look.
You've heard me talk about giving money to criminal terrorists.
But look, okay. He is correct, okay? And if you don't live in Georgia, this is a thing that maybe you don't care about, or maybe you do care about, you just don't know that much about, because the politics in your state are different than the politics in the state of Georgia. Fair enough, okay? Ralston is the Speaker of the House, okay? And Ralston is from a super safe district in Blue Ridge, Georgia, okay? The odds of Ralston getting primaried successfully are almost nil, okay? And for better or worse, we're kind of stuck with him. And yeah, the House versions of these bills have already passed out of all of these committees. You are 100% correct. That's not loud and obnoxious.
Sorry.
The microphone's right there. Jesus. It just became an ASMR video. Okay.
Oh.
Ew. But we're stuck with Ralston, okay? And it has come out of these committees, but here's my problem, all right? For something like this, like if the bill takes up more than a page, something's wrong with the bill.
Right.
Right? Like, in a couple of paragraphs, like, hey, as long as it doesn't violate any other laws, if you're allowed to carry a gun with a license, you now no longer need the license. Oh, look, I did it. Boom. Everybody sign off, and you're done. Right? Now, I would go further, and I would say that
The right to keep the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
yes, well, I would refer to it as
But that's the bill.
yeah. Well, hold on. I would refer to it as a Second Amendment sanctuary state.
Yeah.
I mean, and the language would be structured in the bill very similar to how those marijuana laws work in like Colorado and basically like 30-something states now. Apparently, this is one of those things we're behind on. But this is my other. Look. Alex is saying, have you read the bill? It eliminates restrictions. It doesn't add any new restrictions at all.
But it doesn't eliminate all restrictions. Is the point?
And the point is the fact that there's the possibility of the bill being slightly different between the Senate and the House in the first place is why we're here. Why somebody like David Ralston can get his panties in a twist and can stall the bill over what is probably a relatively minor difference, okay? Especially when the bills finally get worked out, they're going to be very similar, okay? But, again, this is why I'm tired of starting in the middle, okay? And I'm, like, for example, the whole thing with Obamacare. Somehow, repeal Obamacare became repeal and replace Obamacare. And that's when I knew that shit was going to fail. And everybody forgets that, oh, okay, we got to have a compromise bill. Fine. It was actually the Freedom Caucus, the furthest right wing of the House, that compromised and put together a bill. And it failed, right? It was going to slowly phase out Obamacare. It was going to preserve pre-existing conditions. But the point is, we started in the middle. We gave a lot of gray area. And now, because of a single politician who's from a safe district that most of us in the state of Georgia can do nothing about except bitch on a show like this, it's going to continue to stall. And look, if I had to guess, I'd say this one is going to pass. It would, I think even Ralston understands where his political futures lie, being in a place like a safe district like Blue Ridge, Georgia. Like, that's some country area there, right? It's called Blue Ridge for a reason. Because, well, it's not blue, but...
It's a long drive.
Right. But it's pretty country, right?
I've run title up there. And title up there, because it's real country, gets real complicated. Alex, I think we've got our wires crossed here. We'll go. Yes, I think these are going to be signed into law. I do agree with that. But we need to start wrapping up because unfortunately I got to get out the door shortly. Thank you guys for watching. It is the weekend. We're going into tomorrow. I'll be out in Mansfield with DJ Scotty for the 5K at the starting at the elementary school. Good God, it's already tomorrow.
That'd be a big elementary school if the whole 5K. I guess you could run like 10 or 12 laps around the school.
But it's starting there. Yeah,
I get it.
And I'm gonna fly at least one drone. I'm gonna stick a 360. I'm gonna glue a 360 camera to Scotty's head and send him off on a dirt bike. Should be entertaining. So,
GoPro to his helmet.
No, 360.
Right, what? Just stick it in the mohawk?
Yeah. I'll braid it in. Like extensions. It'll be one of several Liberty spikes. So, Park says safety brief. All right, so listen here for all my single soldiers. Before you get out there trying to deploy those little soldiers of yours out into the hot zone, you make sure that you check that particular RPC, that would be your rubber personnel carrier, for maintain its scheduled maintenance, proper lubrication, and correct application. And once you get down, I know you're going to find yourself out there with your buddies, and everybody's going to have their own date. Gentlemen, the directions from the tower, before you move that selector switch from safe to semi, and place your finger on that trigger and prepare to engage your target, watch your lane. Sex, drugs, rock and roll, firearms, and videotape. No two at the same time. Y'all be safe. We love you, and we'll see you on Monday.